welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for what is going to be a musical extravaganza. My guests are mother and daughter singer-songwriters, and the former is best known for her 1979 iconic UK chart hit single, Stay With Me Till Dawn. She also headlined at Glastonbury and has toured around the world. The equally talented daughter has been on stage and performed many times with her mother for many years, but is now carving her own niche in the music industry with some emotive and soulful music. But first, let's welcome the incredibly talented Judie Tzuke. Hello, Judy.
Hello.
Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's really lovely to have you on the show.
Oh, thank
and Judy,
you.
we're going to speak to your daughter, obviously, in the show as well, which is great. But I wanted to speak to you first. And of course, we have your lovely Full Moon album, which I think we'll go straight to, which is on their table here. I mean, that is an incredible collection, isn't it?
Yes, and I didn't really have much to do with it. My, the people that do my company, my stepson actually put the whole thing together. And put all of the albums that were available that we could get, which is nearly all of them, I think.
Yes.
And put them all together and made stories in there, and it's a beautiful thing. Even if it wasn't mine, I'd actually think it's a beautiful thing.
It is, but it's lovely to. How many albums have you done, Judy?
Around 25, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't know how many are in there, but pretty much all of them.
Yes. Have you got a favourite?
I think. Obviously, the newest one, whilst I'm doing it, which I am just doing one at the moment.
Yes, that's right, yes.
At the moment, feels like my favourite. But I think for my life and career, Welcome to the Cruise is the one that gave me a life and career.
Yes.
I think Secret Agent, which was sort of in the middle, and a lot of people don't know my middle period of music.
Yes.
I think Secret Agent is probably my favourite.
So tell us about it, Judy. So obviously your first album. What was your very first album?
Welcome to the Cruise.
That was Welcome to the Cruise. That was your very first one. I do remember that one. I didn't realise that was your first. And then from there, what was the middle one then?
Secret Agent. Well, that was probably about, I don't know, eight albums in. It was just, I just think I loved the songs on it and the sounds, and we had some amazing players. Because we always have different players come and play on my album, and I love having.
Do you like that though?
I love that, and I love having whatever those players bring to my music. I don't ever tell them to do what I want and what it's like on the record. I like having people bring something different. We've had a bass player called Pino Palladino, who's one of the top bass players in the world. But when he came to play on my stuff, he literally changed the songs just by the notes that he used, which weren't what I was expecting at all. But they can change the whole mood of everything. And I've been really lucky with all the people I've worked with. Yes. My latest album is actually with most of my closest family and friends playing, because they're all musicians and they've all been sort of in my band for ages. So I've written quite a few with Ben Mark, which is also, I think, one of the songs we may be playing. I wrote that with Ben Mark. And Jamie Sefton, who plays bass and has done for me for quite a while. Matthew Rasher, who is actually my daughter's husband, and he's an amazing drummer. And Tim Deal, who actually his sister played with Right Said Fred.
Oh, wonderful! I've had on as one of my guests on the show.
There's all connections. Everybody's connected.
Isn't it wonderful though? The music industry is like that, isn't it? It's quite incestuous that way. Everybody kind of will know somebody or knows somebody that knows that person.
I think we tend to actually gravitate towards a certain sort of group of people, and I like to have familiarity as well, and I like people that I like to play on my music. But I haven't actually written a song this year, which is so rare for me. But I did write a lot in the last few years, and I've been touring and doing other things. And I think I put this year aside to just get a bit healthy, because I'd got a little bit run down and tour tired, and so I put this year aside.
Post-COVID as well, everyone was a bit sluggish after COVID.
That's right. So I think this year, I'm hoping that it means that when I do start to write again, there's going to be so much stuff to come out. I do write lyrics a lot of the time. I put them in my phone.
And where do you write them, Judy? Does it just come
anywhere.
to you? Yeah,
anywhere. Sometimes I'll say something and think, well, in actual fact, the title of my new album is called Jude the Unsinkable. And that was just literally, I think I sort of said to you, I'm Jude the Unsinkable. I thought, that's a good album title.
That's a good album title, exactly that.
That's that thing, they're magic. They just sort of, they just come to me occasionally and happily.
And it's lovely that the musicians that you've worked with, you continue to work with them. And as you say, you work with your family. That must be very special for you.
It is, because my family and my music are the two most important things in my life. So to be able to combine them and have a career in that kind of way I've been very lucky.
So how did it start when you did your first, obviously the iconic track, Stay With Me Till Dawn? How did that come about, Judy?
I was writing with my musical partner, Mike Paxman, and we were just round at my mum's house in her dining room with our feet up on the dining room table, and I had the verse of Stay With Me Till Dawn, and that's Mike Paxman, had a kind of disco track which had a "I Need You Tonight." You know, I can actually put that as the chorus because I couldn't find a chorus for it. And then we both wrote the line, "I'll show you a sunset." I have to say, we did kind of think this was a bit special. We had no reason to think that other than it just felt a bit magical. And then Pax went home and I was so sort of full of energy and vibed and stuff that I had a new tape recorder which you could record yourself on top of yourself.
Yes.
And I couldn't sleep because I was too excited about everything. And I thought, I'll just try seeing if I can do it. And I wrote For You I didn't mean to write a song, but For You is an a cappella track which has got vocals all on top of each other. It's on the first album. And I was really just checking out whether I could learn how to use the tape recorder. And I sang absolutely whatever came into my head. The words were not anything. They were just words to sing. And I did sort of harmonies on one of them and thought, I could do one going the opposite way. And so I did that. And then I thought, actually, I could sing down the middle. So I found a lyric in my diary and I used it just to try it out. And that was
incredible.
It took probably half an hour to write from start to finish, and it was just done.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a listen now to your very iconic track. Would you like to introduce it?
Well, this is my song that most people know me for, and it's called Stay With Me Till Dawn.
Is this a game you play? I don't understand what's going on. I can't see through your frown. First you're up, then you're down. You're keeping me from someone I want to know, but I need it and I need you tonight. Yes, I need it and I need you tonight. And I'll show you a sunset if you're
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Judie Tzuke. Judy, just before the break, we were talking about Stay With Me Till Dawn, which of course we've just shown, which every time I play it, every time I hear it, it's just wonderful. Does it still hold such a, an endearing memory for you?
Do you know, it does. And after talking about it, it makes it sound so sort of unromantic the way we wrote it. But actually, I think it became more romantic after we'd written it. And the more I thought about it and meeting people and them telling me what it meant to them, and it became, I love it. I'm very lucky because I do know a few people who've had one big hit and it's the song that they never really liked or didn't understand, or, for me, I still love it. And when I sing it, I still feel something when I'm singing it.
Which is lovely.
I'm lucky like that.
And you've been performing, of course, more recently with Beverly Craven, haven't you? And Julia Fordman.
Yes. So, and Rumour.
And Rumour, yes, of course. And has that been exciting for you to do?
It was very exciting. It was quite hard work. And I think I needed a rest afterwards. But we had a fantastic audiences and we had such fun and love on stage. It was great. It was really good. Fantastic.
Do you still like performing? Is it still something you like? Yes.
Never liked performing, really. I mean, I do it. And when I get off stage and it's gone well, it's the best thing in the world. But whilst I'm on stage, I've always been very nervous and I always feel like anything could happen. My biggest fear was forgetting my words, because when I forget my words, I forget the whole English language. It's not like I can pretend and sing something else.
Yes.
I can't sing anything. But actually, I was going to hire one of those things that you read all but it was more expensive than me.
Yes,
so
like
I
a teleprompter. Yes.
And my daughter actually said, Mum, just get a black book.
Yes,
just get a book.
Absolutely.
Which I did.
Yeah.
And I have my book with all my lyrics, so that if I do forget, I can at least get back into singing the words.
But you're not alone there, Judy. Quite a lot of singers have that anxiety, it's nerves, it's apprehension, and of course you can suddenly just go, so it's a bit like a rabbit, isn't it, caught in a headlight.
And once I got my book, I felt a lot better, because that did sort of reassure me that if I messed up one line, I could still recover, whereas in the old days, I'd mess up one line and then I couldn't get back, and then the whole of the rest of the show would be me terrified of the next bit I was going to forget.
Tell us about Idiot Kings. That's your latest single.
Well, Idiot Kings was something, I did a little lockdown EP with Ben Mark.
That's
who
right,
I was talking about earlier. We didn't do it together because we weren't allowed out, obviously.
So you did it
we did it over the phone and over our computers. And I recorded, I wrote, he'd send me a track, and I would write on top of that track with my lyrics, and then I recorded it on my little USB microphone.
It really? It's
so
amazing.
It's not the best quality, but it has a magic to it, I think. And we did the video. In fact, my friend did the video on his bike, and he rode around Bermondsey.
Did he?
And most of those shots that are on there are him on his bike in Bermondsey. But I was very angry at the time. I was a little, I think because we were all at home and we were listening to the news a lot, and I think the politics and all the things that were going on made me very cross. And Idiot Kings is about a lot of those people who are mainly still around.
Yes.
But I feel like I got my anger in that song, and I am redoing it for my new album.
Wonderful.
Just to do it with a bit more sort of players on it and a little bit better sound. But I actually love this one anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to watch that video. But it's when you're writing, you say you write whenever, wherever, whenever. Is it subjects like that, like you said, you got very angry? Does emotions make you think, I'm going to write a song about that?
Absolutely any emotion. I mean, funny enough, the EP that was we didn't sort of promote it all. It's still available, but it's got 4 songs on it. And the first one was just after I'd had COVID, and I was very ill with it. And it was very sunny outside, and my daughter came round in a little pair of dungarees and just looked like a little angel. And so the first song is all happy and lovely about the sun and my daughter and the beauty and things that you don't always see. And then the second one was about, I watched a documentary about Leonard Cohen when he was staying on Hydra or Hydra, whichever way, I don't know quite how to pronounce it, but and I just looked, I thought, I wish I'd been born just about 10 years earlier, because I think I would have been there.
Yes.
And so I wrote a song about that.
Yeah.
And then the third one was when I got angry. And then the fourth one...
There's always an angry one.
Yeah, there's an angry one. And then the fourth one is, I don't really know what that was about, but it just came and it felt nice. I actually did write a song called Jude the Unsinkable, but we decided to keep that for the next album,
Yes.
which is what my next
Which is what your
album's
next
called.
album's called. I love that. I absolutely love that. Because, I mean, Judy, you started your career and you had quite a musical family, didn't you? Or a family
Kind
that
of.
was sort of theatrical, arts, films, television.
Well, my dad always
Yes.
wanted to do music, but he was more in property, but he was quite successful in property and made quite a lot of money, and decided, as he couldn't actually be a musician himself, and he did try, and as children we were locked in the study with him when he got a new instrument to hear him playing terribly, or lots of different instruments, but he realised he couldn't do that, so he decided to support young up-and-coming artists, and he had quite a few different ones, but he did actually find Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice.
So he was involved with Jesus Christ Superstar,
Yes,
wasn't he?
he was, yeah. He didn't do Joseph. They'd already done Joseph, and that had been an album that had been sent around schools, and schools were going to use it. But yeah, he heard that and he thought it was great. So he gave them the upstairs of his office and paid them a wage so that they could concentrate on writing Jesus Christ
Amazing.
Superstar. Unfortunately, he died just before it came out in the London show.
So sad.
So yeah, very sad. I mean, he was only 40 when he died, so it was so I was always around musicians. I mean, I wrote a song when I was, I think, about 14 that Tim and Andrew thought I should release as a single then, but I didn't, and it was pretty awful. I can, occasionally it sort of comes into my head and
You
think,
should release it.
No, it was
No,
awful.
it was
You know. So, and my mum loved music. You know, the people that she loved. I was talking about this to someone the other day, were Leonard Cohen, John Sebastian, James Taylor. So she had quite good taste in music, and she used to play a lot of that. And I definitely carried that on with music.
Yes, exactly. Did they ever write songs at all? No. So you were the writer in that respect. Yeah.
I'm sad that my dad never knew that I actually had a career,
I was just about to. Did he? Because he died presumably before you.
He died when I was 14. I think I was 14.
Yeah. So he didn't know where you are now, and he would have been very proud of you, I'm sure.
He would have.
Yes.
He would have been very happy. I know that.
Well, let's take a look at this new video. So, would you like to introduce your video to our audience?
Okay. Well, this is my angry video, my slightly political video, and it's about some of the people that seem to be running this country and other countries, and how I just feel, well, I felt cross. I felt like they weren't doing the best job, and it's called Idiot Kings.
I don't talk for anyone else unless they ask me to. And I won't fit in this empty glass house. There's too much to lose. I may look fine, love and fear colliding as I swung by. In this strange time, I see what I see, this world is not mine. You tell me I'm alright. You tell me I'm alive. A little broken, a lot of pain, watching human bombs alight. Cruel nations, idiot kings, scratch guns across our eyes. Who the hell cares? Colorblind and horrified, I'm held here. What can I bring while the fires are burning? You do nothing. You tell me I'm alright. You tell me I'm alive.
Welcome back to the show, and I hope you really enjoyed that Idiot Kings video, which was incredible. Joining me now on the sofa is daughter Bailey Tzuke. Bailey, hello, welcome to the show. Wonderful to have you here. So alike. I can't tell you. I said this, you are so alike, honestly. It's incredible. It's like looking at Judy when she was your age, really. People say that to you all the time, or? Yes,
definitely, especially when my little sister's there as well. I think it was quite a sight.
She looks a lot like
it's the genes, I love it.
Yeah.
Interesting, Judy, with just watching that video, you can sense your anger in that video. Yeah.
But I wanted to capture that
Yes, absolutely.
as I was saying to you before, it's like there are 4 songs, and they are definitely, for me, the 4 stages of lockdown for me.
Excellent.
And I'm glad that I captured that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's lovely.
Thank you.
But Bailey, lovely to see you. Now, we're going to be listening to some of your music as well, but you've been performing with your mum for quite a few years, haven't you?
Yeah, I actually don't know exactly when I started. I think I was about 11.
4. Oh no, you were about 4 when you first did it.
Oh yes, no, I did. I came on and told a joke.
Did she run on the stage and insist that she's going
Well,
to...
no, it actually, we decided to have a comedian support us instead of a band. So
Right.
we had Tony Hawk. So
Right, yes, I do, yes.
And he was, at that
my
point,
Uncle
he was,
Fabulous.
yes, it was Uncle Fabulous was his sort of name. I think he was known as the Fabulous Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So he had Bailey come on as his magician's assistant.
How
and she told a
wonderful.
joke, and it was,
How old
then we
were you
couldn't get
then?
her off the stage.
4.
About 4 or 5, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm not great at comedy though. I mean,
you
that
were
might
good
be
at
my
that.
highlight.
It was a very
yes,
sweet
that's
joke.
Peaks then.
But you're very good at music. So, Was it something you, obviously, with your mother and the family, was it something that you always thought you were going to do, Bailey?
I didn't really think about it. I think because in our house was always so full of music and full of musicians, and I didn't really consider it wasn't going to be or was going to be. It kind of just happened.
Yeah.
You know? I just sort of, got involved.
Did you ever consider another career path?
I did learn to be a yoga teacher, and I do still teach
Wonderful.
sometimes.
Yes.
I've always loved yoga, so that sort of went alongside music really nicely. But no, I mean, music is my passion.
Yeah, exactly, and you can see that. So, for you both to work together, Judy, it must be wonderful to have
Oh,
your
it's
daughter.
brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And we've
together
doing,
as well.
yeah, we've written a lot together.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
What have you done together?
We wrote loads, actually. When I first started out writing, we did a lot together, which was so nice, because we were very close anyway, so it was a very easy transition.
And do you find you complement each other when do you come up with the same ideas, or are you completely different?
I always remember when we did I'm Your Friend,
Yeah.
we both heard Dave's backing track, and we
wrote
both
different,
knew
yeah.
immediately what it was going to
Yeah.
be, and we both burst into tears and were sobbing all through. It was just like we just knew that it was going to happen, and similarly with your
Yeah.
son.
How lovely! And what track was that?
It came out a long time ago. It was one of the first things we did. And it's called I'm Your Friend, and it was on a EP I did called Laid Bare.
Which is a
It's
lovely
up on
one.
all the streaming and
Yes.
things. Yeah. Which I love that song. And it was very nice as well, because knowing each other really well.
Yes.
We didn't get in each other's ways.
Have you ever argued over a song? No, I don't like that. No, I'm not.
No,
gonna do
I
that.
think so. No.
No, because I think also both of us we have a respect for each other, and I think I don't think I would ever not like something that she did, and if I did say something, I think you'd listen, and similarly the other way round. If
Yeah.
you, well, in fact, there
like
was,
the same music
yeah,
and things.
There was a song where I'd written something, Lifeline, and you said, I think you need to do something more on it,
Oh, yeah.
and I did, and you were right.
It must be so lovely to have that kind of
very
muse
lucky.
almost. You're very lucky to have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And
very
and do you think that's going to continue? Will it ever change?
No, I don't think so. We did write something recently, didn't
Yes.
we? For my T.I.G.Y project, actually.
Yes. Oh, tell
Because-
us about that. Tell
Yeah.
us about the T.I.G.Y project.
So T.I.G.Y, me and my husband started actually in lockdown. He's a drummer.
Right.
However, 2 weeks into lockdown, he was going stir crazy and decided he was going to learn to play the piano
Wow.
very quickly.
He's amazing.
Did he just learn to
amazing.
play the piano?
Yeah, I mean, it was
Very
amazing and
talented.
infuriating, because I've been trying forever.
You hate people like that. I've always wanted to learn to play the piano.
Yeah, exactly. But then, so it meant that we could write together. So him and I
Excellent.
started writing, and all the songs came actually from diary entries of mine. And the reason the project is called T.I.G.Y is because my mum's sister, actually, who passed before I was around, used to keep a diary called T.I.G.Y, which means Thoughts I Give You. Mum actually let me read her diary. So we were sort of the same age as we grew up, as a way to get to know her.
How
Anyway.
wonderful, but how wonderful though that you're taking that very, very sad loss and turning it into something so amazing.
And we all have a connection, which is lovely. But now, so all the girls in the family, and we're working on the boys, but the girls in the family all have their diaries as Tiggy. So when it kind of came to these songs, they were so personal and they came from my diary entries that I was like, there's got to be Tiggy.
How wonderful.
And in the hope that it means that we can all kind of be part of it.
Yes.
We've written something for Tiggy to come out later on in the year.
I think actually the whole Tiggy thing is a bit like we could all be guests on it or not on it. It is it's
I want
really
it to be collective, really.
Yes.
I'm very dyslexic, so I've never considered myself a writer in that way.
We both are.
But yeah, we both are.
But you've written some amazing things, so you know that doesn't matter, does it really?
No,
I think
exactly.
you feel the music, don't you? It's Do you start with the melody or do you start with the lyrics, Bailey?
It really varies. Sometimes it normally comes all at the same time, to be honest. So we're doing a project for later in the year, which has been actually the poems that I've written that we've turned into songs. We wrote a poem together that we've turned into a song. So that one with the words came first and then the melodies.
Yes. With your infuriating husband, you can play the piano with him. How many
Play
lyrics?
everything. And
Don't
he
you
says
just
you
hate
just have
him,
to really
Judy?
practice, apparently. That's what you have to do.
I said
It's
what?
really
Oh,
hard.
yeah. Because we like the whole sort of music is magic and it just comes to us and everything's all magical. We go, no, if you work hard enough, if you keep working,
He's a realist.
I don't want to hear that. I want it to be magic.
Yes,
Yeah,
leave me
I
in my
don't
creative
work
bubble.
hard,
So go away and do your realistic things over there.
Different things work for different people.
Absolutely,
And I
yeah.
think that you and I both work in a way that if we think it's coming from a practical place, then we're not very good at it.
Yeah.
Whereas if we allow ourselves to be taken by the feelings, the moment and all that, that's what works for us. I mean, I can't write songs unless I actually have a sort of story and something that feels like... I'm then reduced to just not being a writer at all if I haven't got that feeling. And if I'm having to work really hard at that feeling, it doesn't become natural.
And has anybody told you, or you have to write a song about cats?
Yeah.
That wouldn't, you know, because
That's so funny you
record
just
companies would do,
That's so funny you just said that, because when I was trying to describe what I feel songwriting is like, I was trying to describe someone, I was like, it's like trying to catch a cat.
Yeah,
you have to ignore it. You've got to be near it and sort of ignore it and just let it come to you.
Exactly.
And that's the only way it works.
Exactly. And has anyone ever tried to do that, Judy? Say, right, I want you to write a song like that.
In fact, I did some work with Morshiba.
Right.
I really loved the stuff
Yes.
that we did. But the first song came very easily. And then the second song, I got to the studio and I was feeling quite confident. And they said, right, we've thought about it. And our first album has a lady sitting on a sofa. And we decided that we'd like to write a song like about a chair or something like that. Piece of furniture. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Was your face like that?
Probably. But then I remembered that I had these beautiful blue velvet chairs that my mum had given me that sort of, they were kind of round. And when I was sad or sort of feeling anything, I would curl up in this chair and feel like I had a sort of place to be. So I wrote a song called Blue Chair, which ended up on their album, which I absolutely love it. But it does mean something.
Yes.
It's just that I've got to find a meaning to something.
Yes.
If someone says, write a song about a cat, then I'd have to think, well, what cat? And what did it do?
Yes.
And how did I feel?
What colour was the cat?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, I love writing songs.
Yes.
I just hope I'm going to get back to it.
You will?
Yeah.
Do you sort of have planned writing days or does it come very naturally?
Well, at the moment I'm writing all the time, but I go in waves. I've had a time where I don't write at all. And you've done that too, and then you come back to writing. It's always funny because as soon as you stop, well, the minute you finish the song, you don't know if you'll be able to do another one.
Absolutely right.
Is it?
It's a bit
Do
imposter
you
syndrome.
feel
Confidence in that way, or at least I don't. I
don't
sort of
either.
feel like, whoa, where did that come from?
I never think that I'm a writer or a singer or anything, and every song that I ever write, I'm always like, well, that was a bit of a fluke. You know, shit.
Hang on, Judy, it's been quite a few years.
I know. I've kind of realised that now. But I don't know that I am anything. I've definitely suffered from imposter syndrome.
Do you think that's part just of the creative process, though?
Maybe.
You know, because creatives, you think differently, don't you?
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
And I'm a creative myself, and you don't always think the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
No.
You could come up with some random thoughts that only your best friend will know. That's okay.
Yeah.
The rest of the population will think they're crazy.
Well, I've always felt like an alien, and one of the first songs that you wrote was
when
called
I was
Alien,
14.
about the fact that you felt like an alien.
There we are. Did you ever felt you fitted in, Bailey?
No, not really.
No, nor me.
I don't mind that though. I mean, I fit in at home.
Yes.
You fit in our house. We're all
fit in with the right people. Exactly. And you live close by, so that you can, you can carry on doing this.
Yeah,
And
we're very lucky.
would that be something you wouldn't ever consider changing?
No. I mean,
Well, I think about where I'm going to be.
but we'd always be close, I think.
I think so. I might have to take you to the south of
unless
France.
you've got plans.
Oh, we're going to the south of France, are we?
I've always wanted to. I've always
how
wanted to
lovely.
live there.
Wonderful time.
And my other daughter told me the other day that her and her fiance are thinking of moving to France.
Oh.
And we were in a garden centre at the time, and they had all these big, sort of lovely, down the end of the garden, sort of mini houses.
Yes.
And I said to them, well, that's okay. I'll just come and live down the end of the garden. And he said, oh, I can build you one of those.
Oh, I love it. Well, we're going to take a quick break, so stay with us and come back and join me after the break. Welcome back, and joining me, of course, is Judie Tzuke and Bailey Tzuke joining me on the sofa now. So, ladies, before we went to the break, we were talking about obviously your songwriting, but you're actually going to do performances together, aren't you? You're going out on tour, or what's happening?
Yeah, we've got 3 dates we've got now.
3 dates.
3 dates in.
Together, yes.
In
Exciting.
September.
Wonderful.
wait.
Where are you going to be? In the UK somewhere, or?
2 in Ireland.
2 in Ireland and then 1 in Henley, I believe.
Henley, yes. It's a really lovely gig, actually.
Yes.
It's myself and my guitarist, Chaz Thorogood, who's amazing, and then Beverly plays piano, and we've got a string quartet. So we do one song each. It's quite, and we talk, and it's quite nice.
That's so wonderful. And whereabouts in Ireland? What part?
Derry
Yes.
and...
Dublin?
No, it wasn't Dublin actually.
Belfast?
Belfast.
It's Belfast, yeah.
Bailey, this is your lovely... here we
Our
go.
album.
This is your album. And it is so lovely, Thoughts I Give You.
Yeah.
That's such a wonderful... I don't know, very emotional, even just reading it. So it
It is
must
very
be a very
emotional.
emotional feel.
Yeah. We actually, during lockdown, because we couldn't all be together, when we couldn't be all together, we had a WhatsApp group.
Yes.
One of the many WhatsApp groups, but this one particularly was the T.I.G.Y one, and me and my sister and my mum all shared our thoughts and feelings. There's a lot on there that
And they drive
really,
past my house.
really linked us all together.
Lots of people left jobs and went on to do completely different careers, careers that they had passion for, whereas perhaps they've been stuck into a job. That loads of people that I know did that, and loads of musicians changed track because and better opportunities because they're all on Zoom, so they become global as opposed to just gigging.
And then there was Brexit.
And then there was Brexit.
For all of us. Yeah.
Yes, exactly that. Do you think it's changed the music industry?
Well, I think at the moment it's kind of killed the music industry, to be honest. I do think that we will find ways to make it work again, but I think, streaming, everything just killed off so much of what I know is the music.
Yeah, I think there's
It's very
people are
difficult
trying to work
survive.
Yes.
new ways of doing it, aren't they? Really.
There's some people making money, but it's not the musicians.
No, and
We're
isn't that always
making
the
music,
way?
but,
Yes.
And
is it more difficult now to go to these countries to perform?
yeah,
Yes.
very difficult because you can still go, but like
Paperwork and
the paperwork that bands, if they want to take, Matt had been touring the world, and with all sorts of people, but now if he goes to do a tour abroad, that band has to do a lot of paperwork. It costs a lot more, so they'll just
very
get
hard.
a European musician and that's it. And we know so many people that have sort of got in that situation. It's very hard in music at the moment.
yeah.
Do you think maybe because you're a young musician and you've seen your mum's career and it continues to grow, do you think that things are going to change dramatically, for you during your time in the music industry?
I hope so. I don't think it can stay like this. I would be, my positive side would say I'd hope so.
What would you like to see?
Gosh, I don't really know actually. Just more, it's hard as an independent artist to get through. I think that's the thing. There's a lot of competition with the bigger artists. You're either really happening or you're not happening at all. There doesn't seem to be an in-between or a place that you can develop anymore.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. I think maybe it's a very saturated market. There's lots of people making music. There's
do you
also...
think, Judy?
I think so too, and I also think that because it's so hard for new musicians that they get sort of asked to do things and they won't pay because they know they don't have to because there's a million other people out there that will take the gig, And it's a really hard world to survive, and it always was.
Yes.
I certainly was never secure and safe, but I sometimes made money and had to try and learn to stretch it out, which I never did really. So I just remortgaged the house over and over. You can't really do that now. But you know, I want more people to hear Bailey. I don't think you want to be a big star. I think you want to make music. I might be wrong here. I think you want to make music and feel that's secure and valued as a songwriter and a singer.
Do you agree with that,
Yes,
Bailey?
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think I'm the same, really.
I was going to say to you, is that because you work so well together and you're clearly very close.
Yeah.
Do you kind of think that's because you both are on that same?
Well, I think Bailey's seen me struggle and be really hurt and really reject. I mean, I feel like I've been rejected over and over all my life, and then suddenly something happens and you're in the light again, and it's a really difficult.
It's a roller coaster.
It really is.
Industry. Yeah.
I mean,
it really
it must be similar in your kind of world
absolutely.
as well. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I was saying to Bailey in the car on the way here that I remember the time, which was in the middle of my career again, and I lost the deal that I thought I had. I felt not very good. I think I was about 40. I thought, well, that's that then. I'm absolutely never going to get anything. And then I got a call from one of the major labels, and I can't remember which one it was.
Great.
But it was one that I never thought would be interested in me, especially at that time, and got a deal.
There we are.
It didn't work,
And that's-
but it did it.
it's-
The album didn't sell, but still.
Yeah.
The thing about our world is that things can happen, and it can happen quite suddenly. And I often thought when I was in my days when we weren't doing that much, and I know you have, so maybe I'll have to get a job.
Yes.
Just get a job. But I can't get any kind of job that would give me the kind of satisfaction and enjoyment and money probably when it works.
Yes.
When it works.
That's it. And would you say, Bailey, because obviously you're going to do this tour, and hopefully it's going to make you money, and you're going to do it probably for the love as much as anything else.
Yeah.
But would you like to see, your career, earn lots of money? There's nothing wrong with earning lots of money, is
I'd
there?
love to earn a living. Yeah, that's what I always say. I'd just like to not have a
We're not very
second
good
job.
in this country, are we? We don't make
exactly.
We need to make a living, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think it's realistic. People need to be able to make a living from what they're doing.
And at the moment,
and that
music isn't valued.
It's very difficult.
Because everyone can do it on their computer at home. Everyone can put it out, and it doesn't really tie in with, I don't think, particularly how talented you are, or as Matt says, how hard you work. Mm-hmm. I think it's just one of those things that you just got to be lucky and just hit the light.
There is a
have to
certain
keep
amount of
doing it
luck
as well and be ready
Yes.
when it does.
But you and I both love music more than money, more than anything else.
Yes.
And I think I had to decide and think about it when I was younger that I would do music and write songs, and as much as I could, even if I didn't earn any money from it, I'd still do it. So that kind of takes you through the down times a bit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. And we're going to listen now to your lovely Yellow Lines. So would you like to introduce your song?
Right?
Oh yes, this is our song Yellow Lines. It's T.I.G.Y, and it was filmed in Brighton.
That was an amazing song, Bailey. Thank you so much. It was lovely to see it, and of course filmed in Brighton, which is great. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, that's it for this week. Thank you to you for watching and to my lovely guests, and come back and join me again next week. Bye-bye for now.